The tool of money is using you, but you're not using the tool. My name is Darius.
And I'm Carmen. Welcome to the Wealth Nation channel, where financial freedom isn't just a dream, it's a reality. Now, by the end of this video, we are going to share with you the difference between consuming and creating with regards to your money and how you can start generating more cash flow starting today.
Right now, the idea of money is just an idea. And the reason why I say it's an idea is because we can choose how to spend our money and get whatever return from that purchase that we choose to. But for the most part, when it comes to how we spend money in America, it is consume. We are the nation of consumption. So what that means is we're going to work to be used as a tool to make money, but then we go and spend that on something that only provides us with a temporary fix. It doesn't allow us to create cash flow. It doesn't allow us to create a better situation for ourselves. And it doesn't allow us to create something of value for us long term. So the key word is creation. We're not using it to create. We're only using it to consume.
Now let's talk about these two topics. We're going to talk about consuming first. So let's put the definition on the screen up. And consuming is to eat, drink, or ingest with regards to food, right? Food or drinking. To buy with regards to goods and services, and to use up with regards to resources. So when we think about everything that we consume, it can kind of go hand in hand when you think about money, right? Because you consume money, resources, you can spend all of those resources. And what are we spending all of those financial resources on? Consuming, eating, food and drink, goods and services, whatever it is that you are spending your money on.
Yeah. So one thing I was going to say is I think about Maslow's hierarchy of human needs, which is the most important thing that we need on the bottom level is food, water, and shelter. But in America, we take that to a different.
We get sparkling water, we get alcohol as opposed to the water. Shelter, we get houses that are too big.
We have so many options that when we think about the basis of what we need, we're consuming something that doesn't even serve our bodies the best way. If anything, it clouds our mind and we aren't able to make the best decisions because we're not consuming properly the proper liquid for our body. Even when it comes to our homes, if we think of our homes in comparison to the rest of the world, we have some of the biggest houses in the world. Yeah. I remember us going on a trip when we kind of got cornered by some people in Morocco, and they were like, "Why do Americans' houses? Why are your houses so big?" I was like, "I can't speak on behalf of all Americans, but it has something to do with how we're consumed and how we're marketed too.
It's our status.
It's our status."
Are you ready to bring in more value to your family by starting a life insurance policy?
If so, click on the link below to meet with an agent. Our transportation, Toyota and a Lexus is the exact same car, but they managed to create a business to where they can sell you the exact same thing, change the name of it, and you think that
you have something
different because of the logo on the car, but it's the exact same car. So we've been programmed to consume. We go and we work hard, we trade our time and our effort for money, but then we go and spend it on something that isn't as valuable as the time that we put into it to get it.
Yeah, and we have to think about this too. Not only are we consuming goods, services, and food, right? We also have to think about now with the invention of technology and social media and how we are consuming other people's thoughts. Think about that. Like a lot of times you are asked your opinion on something and you're probably just regurgitating whatever the news or social media said to you without even thinking about your own thoughts. So what does this have to do with everything that we talk about on the Wealth Nation channel? We know that we went on a little rant there, but the idea is when we talk about money, we have to really figure out who is in the driver's seat and who is in control of this process. Because are you running this system subconsciously, meaning someone else is running it, really not you, or are you consciously in control of what's happening with your financial situation? So that's why we just wanted to have a check real quick. When we think about consumption, what does it mean? That's why we gave you the definition and then gave you simple examples to figure out where are you maybe over consuming and going above and beyond Maslow's hierarchy of needs, because we realize as a human population, when we overextend ourselves, that's where stress and anxiety and all of that stuff lives, and we're not able to create because we're so busy being stressed. Right? So we have to start thinking about taking a step back, reevaluating our specific circumstances and asking ourselves, what do we really want, family?
And how can we even get to that point? Because the thoughts that we have isn't even our own thoughts.
Yeah. Amen.
The thoughts that we have are based on what we're getting from the news or from social media. Those aren't our real thoughts, and that's why we get so stressed in life
and can't make decisions
because we haven't exercised that muscle.
Yeah. So we're challenging you today. Let's get in the gym and start exercising that muscle of trying to figure out your own thoughts and what do you want. When Darius and I speak to all of our clients, the common theme is always about family. If you're parents or not parents, you have extended family, brothers, sisters, parents, whatever it is. And whether you believe it or not, you genuinely probably want to support your family in more ways than one. Now, when we think about what it is that we can do to provide value to our families, we need to start thinking about ways to create and leveraging our income in a different way as opposed to being a consumer and being a creator. Now, we're not going to go down the whole rant about investing in that whole thing. What we're just talking about is you looking at the dollar that you have right now in your hand. If we can put $1 in my hand right here, you can see it. The point is, how can I use this more strategically today as opposed to how I was using it tomorrow?
Right.
How can I start putting my money in financial products or financial services that's going to increase my money, make my money work for me as opposed to me working for it. And at the end of the day, the one thing that is guaranteed is that we will all pass away one day. Right? And instead of filling our house with stuff, let's fill our life insurance policies with as much money as possible so that we can pass on generational wealth to the next generation and the generation after that. And the information that goes along with understanding how to create versus consume.
Right. And that's the important thing, because the information that we pass on our habits to the next generation. So it's more than what your parents said that, I go to work every day to put food on the table and a roof over your head. We got to elevate. I mean,
what we gotta elevate.
We have to elevate to a point to where we're passing on more information than
just I got a roof over your head
than the minimum.
Yeah.
Because when we think about the company that we work for, it's a business, but it's also a collective group of people. And when we look at a family, it's the exact same thing. It's a collective group of people that have different ideas and different ways of going about things, but you still have to figure out how you can, as a whole, make decisions as a family for the betterment of that family for the next generation.
Absolutely. So now let's put the definition of create on the screen. So create is to bring something into existence. Ooh, how about that? Or cause something to happen as a result of one's actions. So what can you do today to bring into existence, right? Because if we were all created, the byproduct of that is for us to be creating. Not consuming. Hear me? You hear me? Give me some.
Like that.
Okay.
Ooh.
So when we think about that, we are here on this earth to create. When you go to work, you are creating. When you have your children, you are creating. When you're with your spouse, you are creating. You have every opportunity you can in this world to create. So how can we now create in the world using money as the tool and not being used by it? And that's why when we think about financial freedom, whatever it is that we want to do personally ourselves, we have to look at money differently and figure out how to elevate our thoughts, to your point, and take it to the next level so that we can not only enjoy life now, but be able to provide an amazing opportunity for our children who come after us. And that's where we truly and firmly believe that life insurance is going to be the asset that does it for us. One, because it's not correlated with the stock market. We know that there's going to be guarantees with the products. And the thing is, we know the value that we provide here on this earth. And what I mean by that is there is no monetary number that can match the value that I know I bring into this world or that Darius brings into this world. And you need to know that too. But we are going to get as close as we can because we know that the more money we are able to build inside of our whole life insurance policies, that means the more we can create for the next generations, or the more opportunities that can come for the next generations. And that's why we are going to stop at nothing to make sure we have as much life insurance coverage on board. We're not shooting for the minimums. We are shooting for the fences because we, again, know the value that we are creating, not only for ourselves, but for our families.
Hey, have you figured out your number yet?
If you want to get life insurance for your family, then click on the link below to meet with a Wealth Nation agent.
That tool of money, yes, we need to use that to put put accelerate on the information that you've shared with your family in your lifetime. Because again, it goes back to what we said earlier, where we're just giving them the bare minimum, and they're looking at our habits, trying to decipher exactly what have you done, or how those habits have been instilled in them that doesn't serve them as well as you would have wanted it to. So we have to share that information, and when we pass away, the money that is in our life insurance policy is going to add more value to the information that you share.
Yeah.
We're not saying to just have life insurance to just give them a ton of money without any instruction. We're saying that you need to leave that instruction with them right now and work with your family members along the lines of what you're trying to accomplish. So if you're investing your money into real estate, if you're investing your money into other assets, don't do that on an island by yourself. Bring everybody together so they understand exactly your strategy and why you're doing it. Most importantly, why.
Yeah, and the thing about this too is what you were very much explaining. What I was thinking in my head was like adding lighter fluid to a fire, right? That the fire should be what you're building right now with your family, and the lighter fluid to expound to blow that fire up is going to be that death benefit that comes when something happens, so that that fire can burn even brighter and stronger than before. As we were recording, check this out. I was thinking about something that I read this morning that says every decision you make stems from what you think you are and represents the value that you put on yourself. Every decision that you make stems from what you think you are. So are we consuming or are we creating family? And this is going to be the challenge that we want each and every one of you to start thinking as you're building with your family, because what you can do is continue to run in that ego space. You can make those egoic decisions by consuming and subscribing to the status model, right? Or you can start creating and get more connected with yourself and your family and your roots and figuring out what do you want to be, do, and have and aspire to do so that you can create that financial freedom. And that's really where we're in the zone, is when we're listening to our heart as opposed to our head. Right. So these are the things that we're talking about. How does it relate to life insurance? Again, is going back to that protection, going back to the value. What value do you want to leave your family with? And thinking about maybe changing the narrative from just providing the basics, maybe providing burial expenses. You have to start with what your budget allows you to do, right? Maybe we have to start with burial expenses, then we can move up to term, then we can move up to whole life. But the idea is first and foremost, understanding what value are you bringing, and then chasing that number to get as close to that value as you possibly can, so that you leave your family better off than where you started.
Right. So at the end of the day, what we really want you to rethink is what we're consuming. What are we consuming on a daily basis? And is this serving us? Is this allowing us to create a better future for not just ourselves individually, but for our family, for our nieces and nephews, for everybody around us that's watching our habits and learning from it? Because regardless of who you think you're directly influencing, everybody around you on a day-to-day basis is watching the things that you're doing, and they're bringing that into their lives. So we have a big responsibility to be responsible. We have a big responsibility to be to not think little. We have to think big. We have to think better. We have to think beyond today and beyond the next generation.
Yeah, like we said, you were created. So let's start creating and attain those big dreams and goals, because you can do it. You're just going to be the one that's going to hold you up.
Right. And if you want more information on the conversation of life insurance, which we've talked about, check out our next video.
And remember to own your own lifestyle,
or someone else will.